Good evening, everyone. Hi, Payal.
Good evening, Christopher. I hope I'm audible.
Yes,
Yeah.
perfectly. Yes, Payal. So, a warm welcome to you.
Thank you so
And
much.
yes, and a very good evening to all our learners, participants who've dialed in, who've logged in from different parts of India. We're very, very excited to have you here. And we're in for a really special session today where we're going to hear from Payal. Before we get into that, let me give you a little bit about what this session is going to be. So, this is part of our Career Launchpad series. This is going to be focused on mastering your financial management career with expert insights. And I'm Christabel Singh. I'm Associate Director with upGrad, and I'm thrilled to be your host today, talking to a lovely lady, Payal, and digging into insights that she will be sharing with us. Okay. Little bit about Payal before we dive in. Payal is a chartered accountant, a CA with over 12 years of expertise in education and finance. Way back since 2016, she's been a subject matter expert, a content creator, and a mentor to many, many learners like you, right? She's also a visiting faculty at esteemed institutions like Durga Devi Saraf Institute of Management, MET, and Thakur Global Business School. She has specialized in financial accounting, corporate finance, corporate valuation, and taxation. And she is also has published a lot of work in this space, in specifically in shareholder value creation in the Indian banking sector. And she continues to pursue academic excellence as a research scholar in the University of Mumbai. All right. So I'm sure each of you is like very excited. I certainly am to dig into this conversation with Payal. All right. Now, before we get started with that, we were looking at how financial modeling and analysis, what are the diverse career paths over there, right? Getting into a field like this opens up a whole array of opportunities for you in investment banking, in equity research, in corporate finance, so many industries that open up. So stay tuned and let's dive right in. So Payal, getting into this with you, I've while I have provided a little bit of a background, why don't we hear straight from you a little bit about what you do before we get into some question and answer kind of conversation.
Sure. Thank you so much, Christopher, for a warm welcome and wonderful introduction. Good evening, everyone. Good evening to all the attendees here. So nice and such a pleasure to see you all attending this session. Uh, a warm welcome and best wishes to you all. Reason being, today's world being so competitive and having this professional dynamic landscape wherein we as part of finance domain are going to stand very tall as indispensable pillars of business operations. So warm welcome to you and congratulations that you're going to be part of finance world coming future. And if you're already working professionals, then yes, you are definitely doing wonders. Uh, Let me introduce myself. I'm Payal Mogre, Chartered Accountant by qualification. I've also done my master's in accounting and finance from University of Mumbai. So I started my journey in finance right from age of 18. So this is where I first entered the world of finance through my articleship. So I was working with a CA firm in Mumbai for almost 4 years, wherein I got exposure in accounting, auditing, and taxation in order to broaden my perspective to see how well or how capable I would be. I entered into world of finance. So I did not continue with accounting or auditing or taxation, wherein I had definitely invested 4 years of my life. But there was some inquisitiveness. There was always some curiosity to know, okay, what is finance, how it is dealt around. So that's where I entered into credit analyst. So I was working with a bank for almost 2 to 3 years as a credit analyst, wherein I was given an opportunity to evaluate businesses. I also assess risk of the people who were were wanting to borrow or to raise their capital, and I also took decisions towards lending. During this phase, when I was working with a bank, I was also handed over an opportunity to train the new executives, to train new managers. And this is where I felt, okay, I just love sharing the knowledge that I have. And that is where I switched over to academia. So it's been past almost 9 to 10 years that I am into academics. I write content for edutech companies. I take live sessions, and I'm also associated with multiple institutes in University of Mumbai, institutes which are affiliated to University of Mumbai. So this is about me, wherein yes, I have done multiple things. I have uh, tasted waves and water of different fields that we have in finance as a domain, and I'm really happy to share whatever inputs or whatever understanding that I have along with you all.
Yes, Payal, thank you for that. Now, just getting into some of the juicy bits, right? For our learners, just wondering. So, before you got in, what was your the background, your educational background that you came from?
Okay. So I was a pure vanilla BCom bachelor's in commerce graduate, and
Right.
during my graduation itself, so I always have this just in me wherein I say that okay, if you're doing something, you have to have the optimal or the best outcome from that particular thing or course or anything that you're diving in your life. So this is where I researched around and saw, okay, what is best that I can do in finance, and that is where I got understanding towards chartered accountancy as a course, wherein I felt okay, it is very challenging, and this is where I would want to test myself, and that's how I entered into enrolled myself into CA as a course after completing my 12th, after completing my 12th board. Yes.
Right. So, after you completed your 12th board and then alongside your BCom.
Alongside my BCom, alongside my master's. So it takes around about
Wow.
4.5 years to complete the entire course. So during
Right.
this interval, I also completed my bachelor's. I also completed my master's along with my CA.
Wow. That's quite a lot of hats and quite a bit of juggling to do. Right. And I'm sure all our
Vegetable, I am
learners are,
sure you will
yeah,
agree that we Indians are multitaskers, right? Ever
totally.
since we are born, we are always taught to do multiple things together. So it's not just me, but I believe everybody, all the attenders here, you don't really have to withhold yourself saying that, okay, I've just done one thing and that's going to be enough. No, upskilling is something that is going to be must. And, uh, you know, multitasking and upgrading yourself is definitely going to be where something that is going to help you stand yourself or keep yourself apart from this competitive world.
Right. So, Payal, on that note, now as a student, now I'm thinking back to when I was also in my bachelor's, right? Is not when it's a time when you're yet to gain that life experience to, figure out how to get good with your time management. All of that kind of comes along the way. But certainly for our audience who are a serious bunch looking to get into this complex and challenging field, what advice would you have in terms of how do you get good at time management? How do you get good at scheduling and running all of these parallel tracks? Because I'm sure the way your journey has panned out would be also a lot of our audience would also be in a similar role. And so, what are some of the ways that they can start getting good at running all of
This
these tracks in parallel?
the first rule is going to be discipline.
Yeah.
So uh, it is something, if you want something, no matter what, you have to give in all, right? So it's not going to be easy. There are going to be lows. There are going to be more lows than highs. That's definitely going to be there. But yes, discipline is something that really helped me. The second thing that I would say, the quality that I endured during this time was consistency. I always believed that consistency is key to success. So being because the course that I'm right now talking, it's not easy to crack. Or let's say, let's not talk about CA as a course. Also, anything that they are going to do, right? If they are going to pursue certain certifications, or if they're going to pursue MBA, or if they're going to pursue any professional degrees, also, it's not going to be easy. There are going to be times wherein you will feel to, that's it. Let's stop. Let's give it up. We have studied enough. We have studied already for 15 years and not any longer. So that's going to happen. But discipline and consistency is something that you should literally swallow down and uh,
Yeah.
try to run it in your bloodstream. Yes.
Right. Yeah. And with things like that, I think there are some people who are better, better able to get on track and on top of things like this, and some who need more help.
Mm.
Yeah. So did you end up using any tools and stuff in terms of?
Right. So again, when we talk about when you need any help, my first go-to option was always, we are always so attached to our friends or family members that we try conversing with them to understand that, okay, how do I excel? How do I manage myself? Or how do I, go around about? That's definitely something that you should do, but I believe that you should go to right person, a right professional, somebody who is
Mm,
already in the field, somebody has already gone through certain courses, and then taking views on how things can be completed. So if you need help, find the right person, find the person where who has already endured, who has already gone through that path. So that is something that will help you to ease out. That is something which will give you more clarity on. Talking about what skill sets or what additional tools did I work on? So going back, so when I say I have 12 years of experience, back then Excel is something that was even today, though it is not
mm,
a cutting edge technology, but it is still a staple in the field of finance. So Excel was something that we really, really focused a lot on, whether it is basic functions of Excel or it is going to be advanced. Now, when I started my journey with accounting and auditing. So this is where understanding the softwares like ERP, softwares like Tally, SAP is something that we worked on. So
mm,
again, I would say advice to all the attendees here, whatever you're going to choose. So uh, one more, just digressing here. Many a times we don't even know what opportunities are available in the field of finance, right? All we know, okay, if we are talking about accounting and finance, it's going to be job of an accountant, or if you're talking about finance, it is going to be investment banking. There are 20 plus opportunities, 20
wow.
plus fields that you can actually explore on, right? So first try research on what all is there. What is corporate finance? What is financial planning and analysis? What roles do we have in equity research? What roles do we have in taxation or reporting? So that
Mm,
is the first thing that you need to do to understand, okay, if I want an opportunity here, what are the fields or what are the profiles that are available that I can really
mm,
encash on? After understanding what you can encash or what is available where you are, which city, which tier one, tier two, wherever you are, what opportunities are available to you, according to that, you start looking out for the essential skills. So if I I'm looking at, okay, there are 5 set of skills that a finance, uh, you know, aspirant should have. Would be analytical thinking and problem solving, right? And
Right.
for this, if we talk about analytical thinking, problem solving, uh, going through the financial statements. So you need not have any certifications or you need not go through any course, but basic, there are a lot of websites available wherein you can just pull in the data, wherein you can just read the annual report of the financial statements, and then develop your thinking, understand the interpretation or what your observations are, such that if there is any issue, if there is any issue in the financial statement that you have identified, as a manager, how you would handle it. So it begins at home. It begins at, we are so used to going through shorts and going through reels. One report or maybe one financial site, just download one financial statement, just go through, like reels, just go through assets, liability, equity, maybe year on year basis, and then develop your thinking. So that's how you can start with, because if you are not good at your intricate financial concepts, then
Mm.
you do whatever tools you master, any tool, master any technique, that's not going to help you, right? If I'm talking about high-end languages today that we have
Mm.
Python, we have R, but if you don't know your basics, you are not really going to understand how to make use of it. So first, master your basics.
Right.
When you master your basics, try developing analytical thinking, try solving problems when you look at the data. Excel is something that I would still say, though we are digitalizing, we have AIs, we have all the models that are coming to help us. But still, Excel is something that I would still say that, okay, it is still a staple. Let's master that also. Apart from that, if I have to tell you, is nowadays what I have seen is appealing is the data visualization. So I know my core, I know to analyze, I know to solve my problems, but if I don't know to present it well, visually, it's not going to help, right? Because every person sitting on the board is not going to be the person coming from finance,
Yeah, yeah.
but is going to be a decision maker. So for it's going to be your job to make things look easy. It's going to be your job to articulate your thoughts on one page, on one report. So this is where your visualization tools are something that you need to master in today's world. So if we talk about tools like Power BI, tools like Tableau, so that is something that one can work on if they are really serious of making career and really serious on entering into financial analysis, equity research, or investment banking. These are the basic tools that one should definitely look forward to. And if it's going to be accounting, then yes, we still stand for ERP. SAP is something that you. There are also accounting applications these days, like QuickBooks, Zero. So this is something that you can master on. Again, not necessary you have to do a course, right? These applications are available. Okay.
Right.
So you just go, you look at the demo, you look at what features do they have, what purpose do they help in. So that is where you can start your journey with. What if you're not
Mm.
interested in accounting? then
Right.
then then you are going to end up with a course but which is not something that you have liked it is something that you're not even going to use it. So first research, first look into what it is, and then maybe you can think about, okay, where do I excel, where do I upskill myself, which is the course that I can go through and can is also authorized or is also affiliated with a good institution, right?
Right.
So yes, to sum it, I would say it is Excel, it is accounting tools, or it is data visualization that you should work on. And if it is something that you are looking from valuation point of view, financial models.
Right.
So at least that's where I said, if your basics are not clear, you are not going to be able to forecast. right? And if you're not able to forecast, you won't be in the position to build the model. So before
Mm,
I start talking about, okay, what fact set can help me to build scalable models, or how financial edge as a tool can help me to build my scalable models, I need to have my basics clear in understanding
right.
how these three statements are connected and how I can use my understanding to forecast and build this model. So yes, from IB, from valuation point of view, I would say fact set is something that one can work on. Financial models is something that one can work on.
Right. Yeah, what you've mentioned is extremely valuable, I think, to our audience from straight from, the key things that they need to start inculcating in terms of habits, in terms of a way of thinking, also you can say,
Hmm.
right? Analytical thinking and problem solving. Start consuming data and your all the accounting related stuff more than you do reels. This is for all the young people here. Yeah. Master your basics
Yes,
and good
master
old
your
Excel.
basics. Right.
Mm,
Because we are so much influenced today by
yeah.
social media that we will easily, we are bound to get easily attracted to something that looks glamorous, right? So
Mm,
IB is very glamorous, or, big fours are very glamorous. But as I
mm,
said, the first step is going to be see what you have around. See what
yeah.
opportunities you have around. See whether
Yeah.
your skill sets, your likings, do they match to that profile? Do they match to that job description? Start
Mm,
building on it.
right.
Right?
And yeah, a couple of things that you mentioned, Payal,
Mm,
especially about when young people are looking for guidance, right?
mm,
And when they approach people, experienced people, perhaps people who might have walked the same path.
yeah,
So rather than asking them, okay, which tools did you use, or a better question that you might want to ask them would be, how was your journey? How did it
correct,
pan out for you?
correct, correct.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
because how they went about it also would be unique to their circumstance, which may
Very true.
not particularly be suitable for the person who's asking the question.
Yeah, correct.
Yeah. And another thing
Because
which you mentioned.
I'm so sorry
Yeah,
to
yeah,
cut
please
you
go
in.
on.
Because see, when you talk about which tools do I go in, if I
Mm,
even look at 5 or 6 posts in today's LinkedIn, I would see
mm,
a list of free courses also available, or
yeah,
list of free tools that I can access via
right.
Google, right?
Yeah.
So that is something which is going to be readily available. But how do I
Mm,
pan out? How is this
yeah.
journey? What do I get
Mm,
out of it? Is something that you probably might not get it online.
mm,
When you just do a web search, but some personal experiences can definitely help you.
yeah. So kind of prototype your way. Reach out for the free tools that are there and free data sets that are there. Get your hands dirty, dip your feet in the water, and see if you really like it and that's the direction you want it to go.
Correct. Correct.
And so you were telling us about how someone who's looking to enter the field of financial modeling and analysis might think, okay, these are the only two big
Mm,
ways that I can go. One is the avenue of corporate finance and all of that, and the other
mm,
investment banking.
mm.
There are umpteen others that you mentioned. Can you tell us a little bit more about those?
Right. So if we talk about corporate finance, is basically related to the investment decisions that you take. How do I allocate the funds that I have? What projects? So it could be related to project management, capital budgeting activities, could be related to capital raising also. Now, apart from that, because as I mentioned, finance is indispensable pillars of business operations, right? So when we talk about operations, there is financial planning and analysis also, wherein
Mm,
there are going to be day-to-day transactions that a business operations would have, which are something that you need to record, which are something that you need to present, which is something that you need to even analyze, right? So financial planning and analysis could include something like budgeting, something like
mm,
forecasting, something like a record to report. Or when I say record to report, recording all the transactions, complying with the regulations and the laws that we have, and accordingly presented. Also try to analyze them to make decisions, right? Then if we talk about investment banking, we have uh, IPOs, initial public offer, so helping companies to
Mm.
get list. Uh, then there is mergers and acquisitions, helping corporates to find the best fit, how they can merge, which are the companies which they can acquire and grow inorganically.
Mm.
Coming down to, if I say, equity research. So here is where I can talk about portfolio management, equity valuation, right? It could be also analyzing these stocks.
Right.
Then we have accounting, we have auditing, we have taxation. Also, there is a lot of misconception or myth that, okay, if you're a chartered accountant, only then you can, have a role played in accounting or in taxation. No, there are a lot of tax consultants today who are doing really well, who are not chartered accountants, right? So,
Mm.
so again, if you have right knowledge, if you have right certification, you will definitely can at least get into the field of finance, because I'm sure a lot of them have this fear, or a lot of them would have even experienced this, that okay, I have done my graduation in finance, in accounting and finance, but the jobs that I get offered are of sales, right?
Mm.
So I'm sure many of them would have gone through this dilemma that, okay, why is this happening? So this is where you can find these profiles, which are maybe not as glamorous as other profiles are, but at least that will help you to get into core finance. And then
Right.
you can pan out your way. Then you can again excel yourself, upskill yourself, and then enter into, maybe investment banking or equity research, as we spoke.
Right. Yeah, thank you for that, Payal. And now I just want to understand from you, what are some of the common mistakes that youngsters find themselves inadvertently, landing themselves in, which maybe we can help them to not.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah,
First thing is going to be communication, right? As
right.
yeah, and you. Why do I say this? Because finance people coming in finance, they're good at number crunching. They're good. They already have that analytical thought process, and that's why probably we have entered into this field. But if you talk about communication, this is something that we really don't focus on, and this is my experience. So this is what I have faced, what I've gone through, that I was really good at analyzing, but I was really not not at all good at presenting it. So
Mm.
communication is something that you have to work on. As I said, if you're going to be good, but if you don't know to present it, if you don't know to articulate your thoughts, it's going to be of no use, right? We
Mm.
think because I always had this mindset that, okay, if my work is going to be really good, my work will speak. It is going to speak, but in today's competitive world, you also need to
Yeah.
speak a lot to excel, and in order to fight the competition. So communication is something that generally learners from finance tend to ignore, tend to take a back seat on. So that is first
Mm.
thing that you need to work on. Uh, Again, upskilling, because as I said, already after graduating, already after going through tons of subject, we feel okay, we know a lot, we can just enter into. No, upskilling is
Mm.
something that you will have to do. Even today, when I say after completing 12 years of experience, I I am a research scholar, and the subject that I have taken is artificial intelligence and machine learning in banking. Right.
Oh, wow.
So you,
Exciting.
if you have to keep up with the time and not be redundant, not be obsolete, it is something that you need to continuously work on. So don't think that, okay, I have one professional degree, I have
Mm.
one certification, it's going to suffice. No, it's going to be after every year or two that you need to work on your skill sets, because that's how the finance as a domain is dynamic and ever changing because of
Mm.
the technological advancements. So don't ignore upskilling, don't ignore working on your skill sets. That is something that you need to work on. And third, master your concepts. When I say
Mm.
master your concept, something that you would have done in 11, something that you would have done in your foundation years, 11th and 12th, and probably you think that, okay, it's so easy, I know it. But go back. I'm sure there are going to be a lot of times when you think, okay, whatever I had read back then, something that I'm not able to retain it, or maybe I understood it better today after rereading it, after visiting it, right? So yes, brush your concepts before you go for your interviews, work on your communication, and keep upgrading and upskilling yourself. Three things.
Right. Awesome. Now, Payal, at upGrad as a company, we pride ourselves as lifelong learning partners, and a lot of what you said kind of speaks to that. And this is certainly for all everyone in our audience who is already working, may have some amount of experience working, may have done a little bit of certification, like you said.
Hmm.
But for all of us, it's not the world is no more. You can't say I'm done with my studies and it's done and dusted kind of a thing. And finance for certain is extremely competitive. So two questions that I have for you. One is interestingly, you mentioned that your research project is also in the area of AI and machine learning. How do you see AI and particularly Gen AI, the impact of that in this industry, and what should youngsters getting into this field make sure that they are well braced for this?
So, frankly, I've just enrolled myself. This is my first year wherein I'm going through the coursework. But what I feel, because as I said, technological advancement is so rapid that when I was with the bank, we literally had policies. We had few applications that we were working on. Today, when I talk to my colleagues, my ex-colleagues, and I see there is tremendous change that has taken place, right? So the
Mm,
things that we used to analyze are something that are already analyzed in a report and are been sent, right? So there are
right.
very high chances that, okay, you could be replaced because there is
Mm, mm,
automation, there is artificial intelligence, which is already working for you. Uh, the subject that I have chosen is wherein we are planning to see a tool that can help in reducing the non-performing assets of the banks. So
mm,
again, it is going to be there, someone is going to be using, but maybe the penetration of AI and ML is still slow when it comes to using it practically. But down, coming, looking at future downline, somewhere we know it is going to advance. It is something that is going to be used extensively, right? So yes, if there are any learners who are interested, mastering at least one computer language and mastering
mm,
one AI tool is something that can surely help them to scale.
right. Yes, Payal. Now, learning about all of this, okay, you did talk about communication and all of that, right? Now, there are programs, there are courses, and certainly we will be talking a little bit about our financial modeling and analysis course as well for the benefit of learners. But okay, so the course equips you, teaches you, you'll have an expert coming and talking to you and helping you with all of that. But what are some of the key things that you need to have under your belt in terms of a portfolio, in terms of how you need to structure your own profile to be visible, and how can you best bring yourself to an interview to stand the best chances?
So answering to that as graduation, along with that, maybe you can also start with some NISM courses. So these are they are paid course. These are not courses as such, but these are examinations that you write,
Mm,
and
mm,
they are authorized. Their certificates is something that few of the industry members or the companies, they do consider it as valid certifications. So that is something that you can work on. They are very small modules. You can
mhm.
start with them. Third, apart from an ISM certifications, maybe some other certifications for the profile that you are looking for. So if I'm talking about financial modeling, so maybe I first go through some free courses that are there just to understand the basics, and then maybe go through a certification which is, maybe a, 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 com- a, a company or a edutech company like upGrad, which is facilitating,
Right,
which
right.
will help me to, I know my basics. Now I'm doing it practically, or maybe I
Mm,
have some experts coming in and helping me to put it down on the paper or put it down in the Excel sheet and actually create it practically. So that is something that you can work on. Another thing, before, as you said, before you go down to the interview, I feel elevator's pitch is something that you
mm,
need to work on. That is going to be the first question. That is somewhere the interviewer is going to judge you on, right? It is sometimes the game ends there itself. The way you answer your
mm,
first question, even tell me about yourself, right? So
mm,
preparing that. And if I'm not wrong, because you shared those details of the courses, that is something also which is worked on in this certification that we have. So
mm, mm,
that is one of the most important things, that we work so much on our concepts, we work so much on our certification, but we don't work on our elevator pitch. Right? We don't work on this simple question, tell me about yourself. And all we try to talk is what is there already on the CV. So
mm.
this is something that one can work on, and the certification that we have here will help you to work on the pitch, will help you to work on the Excel models, will help you to solve the use cases related to financial planning, analysis, financial modeling, accounting,
Yes,
right?
yes. So, to all our learners out there, whatever questions are coming up for you, please feel free to put it either in our Q&A box or in our chat. We are actually, as we speak, also live streaming on YouTube, and we have a couple of people joining in from there too. And our team is gathering questions from there to pile for you, and we'll come to that. Also, we have a special surprise for everyone who is logged in here, who we will bring on board in a few minutes. But before that, Payal, I'm just wondering, so if we can talk a little bit about this certificate program, right? What
Mm.
I will do is let me just share my screen and show you that for everyone's benefit again. This is my team will just reshare that because I think some part of it is getting blocked. But while we are going through this file, if you can just highlight some of the areas that is going to really help our audience, which is young learners looking to break into financial modeling, a career in that, and how this can help. One of the big things over here is again the association with PwC Academy, where professionals in this space who are currently employees of PwC will be coming on live sessions with the learners and taking them through very key concepts, some projects, and even there to clarify any doubts that they would have. That is one of the key USP, so to speak, which one would not get in other similar programs that may be there. So we can just keep scrolling, and Payal can take us through this.
So
So this
having
is a
a
four
right
month.
partner and having a right certification is something that all would look for. So I feel that that criteria is something that gets satisfied when you see that, okay, along with upgrad, you
Yes.
also have PwC experts coming and trying to take you through this journey, right? What I
Yes.
liked about this course when the curriculum was shared with me was, normally if I want to compare financial modeling and analysis with the other courses that are available online, they are focused only on modeling. But this course, if you go through this course, as I said, see, not necessarily you will end up in IB at first go. It takes time, right? You have CFAs who would be
Mm,
chosen first over anyone, or you have CAs who would be chosen first over anyone. So how do we dive in? So this is where uh, entering into the core is something that can help you. So this course, along with financial modeling, also focuses on accounting, also focuses on financial planning and analysis, And then also there is financial modeling in detail. So that
Right.
is the best thing about this course, which I felt was it helps you open plethora of opportunities, not just in IB, but also in fields like FP&A,
Mm.
equity, mergers and acquisitions, accounting, taxation. Because I was surprised to see that we this course is also going to enable learners to have access or to go through the accounting softwares. Not just that, also certain use cases in taxation.
Mm.
So that is something that one can say that okay, this is the differentiator when you go through this certificate program.
Right, right, Payal. So it's amazing how many different, doors get opened with a program like this with just about 4 months can help you to really, really change the game and give you a very, very structured way there, right? So, team, if we can keep scrolling up. Yeah, learning from top PwC experts, live sessions, real world financial projects, which Payal was talking about, the tools like Tableau and Power BI. This last one about job portal and interview skills brings us to a very, again, important part. By the way, while we are on that, if you noticed at the top, this is that there's actually an offer that is being run where and this is a flash sale that is there only for a little limited period of time, where if you enroll uh, today, and we'll also have yeah, the link is sent here in the chat. You can enroll today and get a big discount off as well of straight away flat 5,000 rupees. So we would encourage you to make use of that. We also have, while Payal is going to keep talking to us about different aspects, we also have a quick poll we wanted to take to understand what more questions you had, how you found this session, what more you'd like us to cover in the coming sessions. So please do put in your inputs over there while we continue with looking at this.
Also, Christopher, I would
Yes,
like to
Payal.
add one thing. See, because see, we are have lot of data or lot of courses already available online. So a person could wonder, a learner could wonder that okay, why upgrade? I have something maybe cheaper than this available online. Why do I
Mm,
enroll here? Reason is it's going to be live, right? You're going to have live sessions. It's not some recorded sessions only. So there are going to be live sessions. There are going to be experts who you can interact to. Beyond that, having peer conversation, right? Having people around you who are walking the same path. That is something. So imagine a batch, let's say
yes.
even a batch of 20, you have 20 contacts now. And apart from them, you have PwC experts coming on board. You have a chance, a golden opportunity to talk to them. You have industry experts coming and teaching you. So that is something that can be missing if you are trying to compare it with somebody else. Right? So,
Mm,
so this is, I would say, not just the curriculum, but along with that, the opportunity to network is something that
to
one can
network,
get. Yes.
right. And the solid support system that you get
Correct.
in terms of the energy of the group, someone to reach out to whenever
Right.
you're getting stuck. If we can
Absolutely.
keep scrolling up. Yeah, here are some of the projects that you can work on. Um, yeah, can you show us all of the projects? So we have financial statement, or you can just scroll there. Valuation and M&A model, and these are just some of them that are present over here.
Right.
And like we were saying, this is all in collaboration with PwC, which is a big value add for you. And to the extent that you will even get a certification from PwC by the end of this. So it's an extensive boot camp structured well for you to run it either alongside your studies if you're a student, or if you are already working. These are something that you'll be able to run in a very smooth way. All the time management things which Payal talked about, right? you will be, this becomes a forcing function where you again, it's a structured way where you will need to submit your assignments on time, make sure that you're doing your projects on time, and you'll have somebody, checking in on you, making sure that you're not slacking off.
Right. Discipline and consistency would be taken care of.
Yes, discipline and consistency. Yes. Yeah. So all of these, the key thing over here is also the career acceleration program, which gives you a whole lot of support with that last mile entry into the industry, from mock interview preparation to your resume, and portfolio building, as well as mock interviews and all of that. If we can keep going, let's also take a look at the certification itself that people will get. These are some of the industry's tools and all the financial skills that you will be building, and the certification itself, along with the NSDC certificate. That is, again, a big plus point of this. And yeah, I hope everyone is sending in their poll responses. Yeah, if we can see some of you have already done that. To those who have not, kindly take the poll, and let us hear from you. Let us know what you're liking, what it is you would like us to, in addition to this, cover. We wanted to keep the format of this a very, very open and interactive one. And we'll also start taking questions now. Let us see if there are some questions here. What website or app will help me with my skills like Excel and articles, reading and financial modeling with the right information and certificate file?
Just a moment. What website
That
or app
is
will help
that,
me with
yeah.
my skills like Excel and articles, reading and financial modeling with the right information and certificate? My first go-to option would be the course that has been shared here right now. Yes, because that would not just take care of your Excel, it would take care of Excel, financial modeling, also accounting softwares. And also, as we mentioned, the visualization tools like Power BI and Tableau. So, so you can definitely think about this as a source. If you're looking for any, let's say just as a beginner, maybe, then what you could think through is there are Google free Excel courses also available. There's also a special course by upGrad, if I'm not wrong, which is highly rated only for Excel. Right? So that is what you can go through. And when we talk about financial modeling, if you want to go through certain articles, okay, just to see whether you have that interest in the subject or not. So for financial modeling, there's CFI. That site can help you just gain the knowledge that, okay, what financial modeling is, what are the different models, right? But again, if you really want to practice, if you really want to, have certain case studies being solved to know how good you are at implementing, then certification program like this can surely help you.
Yes, Payal. Okay. Thank you for that, Payal. Thank you very much for that. Um, and here's a surprise guest that we have on the session as well. This is Mr. Parth Dua. Give me a moment while we get him on. Yeah, just a moment. Yeah, he will be joining us very shortly. So, Parth is someone who's done this course as recently as about a month ago and successfully finished. And he is someone who, did this alongside working, and also managed to get placed with CRISIL. So, we'll hear a little bit about him, as well, about how this went. In the meanwhile, in the meanwhile, folks, please do take advantage of the opportunity here, because this the sale where you get the 5,000 rupees off is for a short time. So I'm sure each one of you would not want to miss that. We have this program actually starting tomorrow, but the actual sessions will start a few days from now. So you would have a few days to kind of get organized and put things in place. And wherever you need help, we'll be more than happy to get our team to be in touch with you. You can also put in any of your details, or if you want to be contacted, just leave us a note over here in the chat, and we'll get back to you. Even the Q&A section works fine. Some of you are already doing that. Thank you very much. Yes, Parth is here. Hello, Parth. Just a moment. We'll help
Yeah,
you
hello,
to.
hello, ma'am. Thank
Hi,
you so
hi.
much for inviting me here.
Thank you so much for being here. We can't see you yet. Just a moment.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah. Are you able to come on camera?
uh, no, ma'am, there's some issue. Like, you cannot start your video because the host has stopped it. Something like this has been popping up. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, yeah. Now I am. Now I am able.
Okay, awesome. So welcome, Parth. Thank you for being here with
Yeah.
us.
Thank you so much,
And
ma'am.
yeah, you're like a live example of exactly what can be. So we wanted to make sure that we're getting you into.
Yeah.
Payal has been wonderful and shared so many insights and advice. You've been listening in all along.
Yes.
Any questions that you have for Payal?
No, ma'am has already explained each and everything. And already he has discussed about her journey as well. So it was a very, very wonderful journey. And I would definitely like to share one thing that ma'am has already told us, that consistency and discipline is the key. And I would definitely agree with that.
Right. So tell us a little bit about your journey as well, Parth.
Yeah,
How did you find yourself in this
yeah,
course to start with?
yes. So talking about my journey personally, so in June 2024, I've completed my graduation from Delhi University. And
Hmm.
my core was something I was looking to get into finance. So after just completing BCom, it's not possible for a student to get into a finance. As ma'am already told us, like if we are doing BCom, then we were getting the opportunities to work only with the organization, those who are offering us like a sales role. Like I have completed BCom and they are just offering us sales role. So that was a very big setback for me, as like I've done like BCom, and after that I'm getting opportunity into sales only.
Hmm.
So I was just searching for like some upskilling, as ma'am said, that upskilling is a very, very must thing. So I found out that upgrad is like providing us financial modeling and analysis course in association with PwC and in live session. So it was a really, really great journey for me to interact with the experts, those who are from PwC, those who are working in PwC, and they are sharing their experience with us, like how to do things in practical life, like all the practical models, valuation models, investment banking things, everything they explained us. And if we had any doubts, we asked them like to the faculty, like, sir, we have this and this doubt. And there were separate doubt sessions every day. So we were free to ask any doubts anytime. And it was overall a very, very, very great experience for me. And to get into finance, my main motive was to get into the finance, and this course helped me in the exact same manner as I wanted. So that was my whole experience.
Right, Parth. Also with the Career Accelerator program, how did you find the whole program, and what was the key thing that helped you, cross the bridge and actually secure a role in such a short time?
Yeah. So, ma'am, like talking about my journey, uh, to be really honest, I was a very, very much beginner into Excel. I didn't know what actually Excel is, and I didn't know about Excel, like how to do work in Excel. So, from scratch to Power BI to Advanced Excel to Tableau, this course helped me from the scratch, from the beginner to an advanced level, and all the accounting principles, finance, investment banking, each and everything were explained in such a detail and from the very much scratch, I would say. Like if someone is not from a finance background and he hasn't have any degree like BCom or something like that, he can also pursue this course as well. So everything was taught us from the scratch and make us to advance basically.
Right. And with what about the projects parts? With what were the projects that you did that helped you?
Yeah, yes, ma'am. So there was, ma'am, various projects like financial statements analysis. We have created the financial statements and analyzing them on the basis of ratios and the DCF evaluation, DDM evaluation, and the sensitivity analysis. These all were the live projects that I have done. So that gave me a very much practical experience, like what I'm going to do in my practical life. Since not only a theoretical knowledge I have gained here the practical knowledge that will help me in the real world.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Thank you so much, Parth, for coming and talking to us and sharing your experience as well
Yeah.
with our learners. Now, as we wind up, I wanted to just bring
Thank
Payal
you so
back
much, ma'am.
again. Thank you
Thank
again, Parth. Yeah, lovely to hear stories like this, and this is what makes our work at upGrad also meaningful, isn't it, Payal?
Such success stories are always bliss to
Yeah,
know. Yes.
yes, absolutely. Now, Payal, before we conclude, right?
Mm.
There is always this a challenge in the market for youngsters who are looking to break into a competitive field like this. There is high demand, but competition is also really, really high. What are some ways that youngsters can differentiate themselves, students can differentiate themselves to get noticed in a crowded marketplace like it is today?
Okay. Uh, so there are few free Google courses that one can work on. So that is there. Certified programs is something that you can enroll yourself. Some, let's say if I want to say self-preparation. So I just don't want to mark it here, but when I'm saying that, okay, what if I just want to prepare? What if, I just want to start before I get into this certificate program? What else should I do if that is also a question? I always tell my mentees, I always tell my learners is, first of all, if you're talking about understanding finance, understanding businesses, understanding industry, you take that one industry, right? You read the articles related to those industries. And now articles could be news articles related to that industry. It could be presentations of the companies of those industries. It could be annual reports. These are all freely available. The data is so extensive and available already. So start with those. Start with getting the relevant data of industry, relevant data of companies. Just read it. At first go, you might not even understand anything, but read it. After you read, start noting it down. Make your notes. So it could be just pointers that you have learned about some industry. You have learned the impact of economy on the industry or certain announcement of companies in those industries. Just note it down. Okay. So read, note, and then reiterate it. So this is where you can also work on your communication, wherein whatever notes that you form, try to articulate, try to explain it. So you may start your own video, you may record yourself, yes, and try to reiterate it. You need not post it. Okay, you need not post it necessarily, but initially you can just try facing the camera. Try. It is as good as testing yourself in front of an interview, right? If there is some
Right.
question, do I have even some sentences to talk about?
Hmm.
So read, note, reiterate, right?
Right.
And
Wonderful.
apart from reiterate, report it, right? So if you're not really good at communication, which you need to work on, you cannot escape that, but there is
Hmm.
also report it. How do you report it? Start making your own reports. So initially you will start with a Word doc. Initially you will start with basic Excel functions, right? And now when you start developing this, I'm sure, just 10 days, give yourself 10 days. I'm sure you will develop so much interest that you yourself would want to enroll in such courses, which would help you to test your knowledge, right?
Right.
And then when you are well equipped with your Excel, when you know Power BI or Tableau or you know any other softwares, implement those in the reports. Start posting it on LinkedIn. So take those
Hmm.
challenges, start reporting, start reporting. So you don't have to report to anybody, but you can report it on your own page.
Right.
And that can gather you a lot of opportunity. So you might not be really looking out for it, but somebody else might be looking out for you.
It will find you.
It will find you. Yes.
Yeah.
So
Wow.
read,
That's
note,
yeah. Note,
reiterate, and report.
retreat, and report.
Yes.
Lovely. Worth a LinkedIn post or a LinkedIn article of its own.
But I'm not.
Yeah.
See, that is what I'm still working on. So
Yeah.
maybe this is where I hesitate that okay, I have something that you can really report and write, but something
Yeah.
that you need to still work on. Yes,
Right. Right. Payal, wonderful speaking to you. Thank you so much for
my
spending this
pleasure.
time with
My
us,
pleasure.
sharing your journey with us, all the various opportunities that are available, and also a clear path, um, an intentional way to kind of structure and find your way through a complex field, an industry that is financial modeling and analysis.
Yes,
In encouraging our learners not to look at only the big things that might call out to them, but really explore the various options that are open. And also your guidance about getting your hands dirty, just start with prototyping
yes,
and taking it from there. It gives you a sense of whether it's really calling out to you or whether you want to try something else.
correct.
So valuable nuggets. Thank you so much for
Thank you.
that.
Thank you.
And
Thank you,
we'll
Christopher.
certainly look for like a round two of this. Some of our learners' inputs have also come in for some specific areas that they would like to deep dive into. So
Okay.
this is certainly not the last one by any means. This is only the beginning, and to all our audience, this is going to be a series. You can look forward to more conversations like this. So please do keep writing to us, follow our channels, keep tuned in, and we will look to create more valuable content and assets around what will help you. So thank you and have a great evening, everyone.
Yes. You too. Thank you,
Thank you.
Christopher. It
Thank
was
you,
pleasure
Payal.
interacting with everyone. Thank you so much.
Yeah, thank
And all the
you.
best.